Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mike. Welcome to the February Chamber Luncheon. I'm Corey Langford, the Black Eyed Pea Chair-elect of the Chamber, and we're glad to have you all here today. Would like to say, first of all, Happy Groundhog's Day. That's the good news is this morning he did not see his shadow. So snow is in the past, sun is in the future, and we're looking forward to great days ahead. You know, the snow we had last week reminded me, it was interesting things that happened. You know, it was very quiet, very beautiful, very still. We were able to take time with our families and forced ourselves to calm down and just be. And it was a nice opportunity to do that. It also was a great opportunity to know how wonderful this community of Hendersonville is and how the area is, because there were a lot of people stranded on the road, and people that didn't know them stopped by and helped. There were a lot of people who needed rides to get from Gallatin back to Hendersonville, and people that they didn't know offered on Facebook to pick them up and take them. It's just a nice reminder of how thankful we are and how grateful we are to be in this community. And that takes me to the point that we as a chamber are a community. And I'm so thankful to be in this with you all. I know if I'm on the side of the road, I can call Hillary and she'll show up. She might laugh at me the whole way, but she'll show up. And so it's wonderful to be in a community of other business folks and business leaders that we have the opportunity to share and connect with, that we can get in a car together and travel somewhere that we've not been before and know that we're going to get to a great destination together. So we're excited that you all are here. The Chamber is excited to have you all as members, and we look forward to hearing from Janet today, and we look forward to our opportunities collectively for this community. So welcome. I'd like to invite Dr. Lee to come and give the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you so much, Corey. Would you pray with me, please? Gracious Father, we are all thankful today. We're thankful for the day that you've given us, for life that you've given us. We're thankful for our city, our chamber, and this great nation that we're a part of. We're thankful, Father, that in America the people, through an orderly process, elect our leaders, and that they set a course of action to govern and to protect our land. As chamber leaders and members, we are also, Father, builders. We're building our business or our public enterprise. And let us be reminded that we are also building for eternity, and that all that we build is going to be inspected by God. Let Jesus, the master builder, lay the foundation that will last. We're thankful so much for the food that you've provided, and all of these things, Father, we ask in your Son's name. Amen.
Well, good afternoon. Madam Langford, incoming chair, thank you. And Mr. Lee, always wonderful words of inspiration. And we very much appreciate you and Union University. Welcome again to our one of our monthly chamber luncheons. My name is Paul Good. It is my honor and privilege to wake up every day and work hard along with our staff that's here today, that you'll hear from all of them at some juncture, and Amanda, Cassie, and Allison. We very much appreciate you and the opportunity to wake up every day to help try to make Hendersonville, Tennessee, a better place to live, work, play, and raise a family. If we're all nice to Janet, our keynote today, maybe they can move Colliers International 500 companies up here too, but we'll have to work on that one. Real quick, Corey mentioned chairman, our current chairman, Mike Inkervai, is out of town today on business. He sends his regrets. Last month, for those that couldn't be here, and for those that have already heard this, I apologize. But one of the things he pointed on is it being January. We're talking about New Year's resolutions and goals and so forth. So we implemented a few things that we were going to add into our agenda each month that candidly had an overwhelming response. So very positive. And as mentioned, it will be 1 or 2 months of announcing this, and it'll just become a smooth routine. But in that, what we did is we always point out our elected officials, which we'll do here in a second, have them stand up and give their name and title. And we appreciate all those that sacrifice and throw their names on a ballot in many jobs that are not very much appreciated, but jobs that are necessary. The other thing that we added is when we finish our the elected officials, we'll ask our board members and ambassadors. These are critical. I think everyone's probably aware that we have a pretty massive board, all volunteer board, and our ambassadors are all volunteer. So these folks are just like you that are running multi-million-dollar companies and all the way down to a lemonade stand, if you will, but volunteering their time to help our chamber run. And the same with the ambassadors. And if you want to get involved in the chamber in any program we do, Ambassadors is a phenomenal program, and where you have an opportunity, especially if you're in sales and networking, to get out and press the flesh a little bit more, if you will. And the second component to that, which Allison, as our membership will come up here, this probably got the most positive response, is we traditionally would always just announce our new members that have joined in recent months or the recent month and who they are. We added a VIP table, if you will, to our newest members. Then we kind of started, we had to have a starting point somewhere, so we kind of started with September. So going forward, we started this last month. We'll only have 3 or 4 at a time. They've got strict instructions. They only got 1 minute for an elevator speech. And but just, again, to put a face with a name, like our board, like our elected officials, like our ambassadors, and these new businesses. We're all here to talk about what we do and why we want to give back to the community and our missions, but we all obviously want you to know who we are. And then once we kind of get caught up, we'll kind of back up a little bit and have people that have been members for quite some time or special anniversaries. We're going to have a way to highlight you as well. So to keep us right on time, we'll go again, start with the elected officials, and let's just start right here and go around the table. So if you're an elected official in Sumner County, please stand up, or anywhere, please stand up, give us your name and title. Any other electeds? Okay, we'll start back in and go backwards. Start right here and come backwards. If you're on currently on our board, and if you will please stand up and give us your name and company. Anybody over here? Over here, start this table, the big table. And we have Jimmy Johnson, ex officio member of the mayor, again, of course, a couple new folks like Mr. Fusell, Mr. Perry that are coming on. Thank you all. Now, if you're an ambassador, and we're in mid-season here, if you will, switching from last year to this coming year, some that have already committed. So if you were an ambassador last year or have already committed this year, 2016, feel free to go ahead and stand up as well. So any ambassadors going back, starting here with Ms. Bolton, we'll go back. Any over here? All right. Thank you so much. These guys all volunteer their time to help this chamber run. Oh, sorry. I got to stand up. I move quick. Thank you. Thank you. Please welcome Allison Muncie, our Director of Membership.
Good afternoon. I'm going to start by announcing all of our new January members. Chamberlain Realty, Jamie Fioli, Cobb & Waits, Covenant Associates, doing business as Patrice and Associates. Cumberland District, UWC. Elaine Payne Agency, Allstate Insurance. Farmers Bank. Hickory Hills Alzheimer's Special Care Center, and Mary's Magical Place. What we're going to do next is highlight this table over here. So all of our highlighted VIP members, if you guys could come on up, get about a minute to introduce yourselves and tell business and your name. As they're walking up here, I'd just like to remind you all that if you want information on any of our new members, the members that are speaking today, or in general, any of our chamber members, to please feel free to visit our member directory on our website. Has information on how to contact all of our members. And if you have any questions, please feel free to stop by and speak to me after the event.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Connor Payne, and this is Robert Safford. We're very happy to be here to be part of Hendersonville Chamber of Commerce and, of course, to be at this event. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Good and the awesome Chamber of Commerce team for helping us with our membership. We're part of the Elaine Payne Allstate Agency. We're located across the street from Kroger's in the Hazel Path Complex in the Jefferson Building. Elaine Payne happens to be my mother. She's owned the agency for a little over 20 years. And I'm very proud to be here to represent the agency while my mom is taking the role of grandmother duty today.
And we're a little bit different than other companies as we help people manage their everyday risks. And our role as licensed trusted advisors is that we help the local community with their insurance needs. And we love our personal relationships that we build with our customers, and we have a passion for protecting the things that are important to them. And we thank you guys, and we look forward to meeting everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Marty Burnett. I'm that lemonade stand owner that Paul was talking about. No, I'm just kidding. Some days it does feel like that. I am with Burnett Real Estate Group and Keller Williams. We are a real estate and consulting firm, and basically what that means, we do help people buy and sell real estate, residential and commercial. But we also get, I think probably some of our niches are the maximizing of profits, and the reason people come to us and refer to us is a lot of times they'll have pieces of property, land, houses, estates, and they want to see how they can maximize their profits out of those properties. And so within our group, there's 6 of us that work together, and we have a development and construction background, so we do some development and construction work as well. So the consulting piece is really big for us on just giving you recommendations on things to do, things not to do in order to maximize your profits on development, construction, and then also buying and selling houses. So it's great to meet you all. Thanks for having us today, and thanks to the Chamber for allowing us to have just a few minutes of your time. Thanks.
Good afternoon. My name's Rebecca Stewart. I am with NHC Place Sumner. Kind of a mouthful, but we are basically NHC Healthcare based out of Murfreesboro, but we do skilled nursing, and our center is a little bit different. We also have assisted living and memory care in the same building as our skilled nursing facility. So you might be familiar with the one in Hendersonville. That's right across from the Hendersonville Medical Center, but we're new, and we're in Gallatin, just right on the Hendersonville-Gallatin line. We have 92 skilled beds. We offer, so that's short-term skilled rehab for somebody that just got out of the hospital that can't quite go home yet. Medicare covers a short stay in a rehab facility. And then we also have long-term care if they're unable to go back home. And then if anybody has a need to come and live with us in our assisted living facility and let us take care of all of their housekeeping and their meals and activities, socialization, we offer that in our assisted living. And then we have a specialized unit for Alzheimer's and dementia for people with early to moderate stages of Alzheimer's. So if you haven't been out there, I encourage you to come by. We're right off of Gallatin Road, Nashville Pike, as it's called. Down off of where the marketplace, Kroger Marketplace is. We're right past that going towards Gallatin on the left. So come check us out. My name's Rebecca Stewart. I'd be happy to show you around up there. So thank you all so much.
My name's Fred Campbell. I'm with AccuTint. We do window tinting. A lot of people think of window tinting only for cars. We do window tinting for all kinds of buildings. We actually have some new technology in window tinting now. We have window tinting that doesn't look like window tinting. Your windows can still look almost totally clear, but we can actually be changing those windows to green windows and stopping the heat that's coming in and costing you air conditioning dollars all the time. When you have situations in a restaurant or an office building that people are avoiding the seats close to the windows because there's too much glare, we can stop the glare and not stop the visibility. We also do things like the traditional frosting or the frost of windows or blacking out, whiting out for privacy things. We can set it up to where you can see out your windows and it's hard to see in. Got a lot of different applications. We even have security window film now that makes it very difficult for windows to be broken, whether by wind or by vandalism or anything like that. We've got security film also that to where that somebody could actually write on your windows and you can replace the window tinting and not have to replace the glass. So a lot of different applications. Be glad to talk to anybody that's interested. Fred Campbell with AccuTint.
Thank you. We appreciate all our members, and as I said, we're going to work on a process where once we kind of get those updated, we'll kind of start working backwards for special dates. Unfortunately, but in a good way, I mean this in a good way, but with the help of Lauren and Rebecca, I would say she's speaking the truth. I get to spend probably a few minutes a day with at NHC North, sadly, but it is what it is. Now, one of the most important facets that the mayor sitting here and all of us involved in ECD, Mayor Holt back here, Executive Holt, you see it in the newspaper. It was in the newspaper 3 times this past 5 days. ECD and where we're going, and most importantly also transit that will make that ECD continue, is at a critical mass. And for those that drive back and forth to Nashville, quite often, you know that's the case. Sometimes when you go through a resume, it's like, golly, that's a little much, and we want to get to the speaker. But this one is critical. I know a lot of people in here, especially those that have done a lot of commercial real estate, have met Janet and know her very well. But I'm going to share with you the highlights here, and it's only the highlights of this very, very, very impressive young lady. Janet Miller has been the CEO and market leader of Colliers International and a key player in the Nashville commercial real estate community for over 30 years. She joined Colliers Nashville as a CEO and market leader in September 2014, following 21 years of service as the Chief Economic Development Officer for the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce. During that period, Janet led a 10-county region to the top of the agencies by recruiting companies to the region and working with existing companies on retention and expanding each project. She led the team that was named out of the top 10 economic development group in America 3 out of 5 years. Of her tenure, she successfully worked with over 400 corporations, just a handful for job creation and projects including Assurin, HCA, Beretta, Mars Petco, Nissan, Bridgestone, Dell Inc., BNA Mellon, UBS, just to name a couple. Miller is responsible for talent development business and brand development on all operations for Colliers Nashville. The Colliers offices has 440 brokers in the local office, and revenues projected that they had in 2015 of $500 million. Prior to her career at the Chamber, Miller was Director of Research and Marketing at Fulton Vaughn Armstrong Angle, a commercial real estate brokerage that most around here would know now as Grubb & Ellis. Janet is an extremely active member in her Nashville community as well in giving back. Outside of her extensive involvement with the International Economic Development Council, she is a proud supporter of the YWCA, Friends of Radnor Lake, and the Tennessee Women's Forum. She's president-elect of the Downtown Nashville Rotary Club 2016, a new board member to the Metro Transit Authority, and she is one of the most sought, and of course she wanted to come here more than anywhere, but she is one of the most sought speakers of all, recently given economic development speeches at Georgia Tech, University of Oklahoma, University of Kentucky, and University of Tennessee, to name a few. Her most recent professional accomplishments include 2015 recipient of Nashville Post Magazine Boom issue cover, Top 40 Commercial Real Estate Executives in Nashville, Nashville Business Journal 2014, winner, I'm about done, winner of the Fred H. Harris Award, Top Economic Development Professionals in the State of Tennessee, Tennessee Economic Development Council 2014, nominated, voted Most Powerful Woman in Nashville, class of 1 of 4, Nashville Post Magazine 2013. Janet is a graduate. She's very smart. Graduated of the University of Tennessee with a Bachelor of Science majoring in economics. She also attended Economic Development Institute University where she received a Certificate of Development Accreditation. And folks, this is just the surface. Please welcome Janet Miller.
So that's all the time we have today, so everybody have a great afternoon. So you are too much. Jimmy Johnson just said to me, he goes, Janet, you are too much. I was like, great, thank you. So I am so excited to be here because you are my people. I was a Chamber of Commerce executive for 21 years, and so I love chambers. It's just in my blood. Now let me tell you something that's great for you. I am no longer a chamber executive. I'm in the private sector. So when I give speeches, I can say whatever the hell I want to say now, right? I don't have to be politically correct. So the title of this little set of remarks is, what is going on in this region, right? It is unprecedented what is going on in the Nashville region. So I think I've got about 15 or 20 minutes. What I thought I'd do is give you a little bit of my background to put it in context, and then I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why I think we are experiencing this growth, and you're not seeing it in Little Rock or Peoria or Birmingham. And note, I always offend somebody, so if you're from Little Rock or Peoria, that's right. So. And let me tell you one thing about me. I am one of the biggest regionalism advocates and fans in the history of the world. Crazy about your mayor, because that county line does not mean a thing for businesses moving in. It doesn't mean anything for families who are moving their lives here. So when I talk about Nashville, I am talking about the region, and I want to round up by saying, okay, here's what's going great, but here's how we can screw it up but good if we don't all work together. So we're going to do that in about 20 minutes, and then you can ask some highly controversial questions. So let me tell you a little bit about me. So I grew up in West Nashville when there were 2 tall buildings downtown. Now, I know I look remarkably young, but this was back in the 60s, and the LNC Tower was so cool when I was a kid because the sign on top would change with the weather, right? And I thought that was really cool. And then the next one, that they used to put the sayings in the windows, right? It was the National Life Building. That was it. This was a town. It was sleepy. It was not a region. I remember driving to Maryland Farms for some party in high school and thinking I was in the country, right? So regionalism didn't exist. My family used to keep a boat up here at Old Hickory back in the days where you'd go by Johnny Cash's house and actually see him and June and the family. So that was the thing. But it was a long way between Nashville and Hendersonville. So that's a little bit of the history. It was a sleepy, nice town. It was not known really outside of the South. It wasn't a very diverse place, honestly. The town was run by a group of middle-aged white guys who met in downtown Nashville called the Watauga Group. And if you read about Nashville history, it was a very insular, nice, quiet, sort of sleepy southern town. We have always had amazing leadership in this region, which is why I'm just so excited to see the mayor and my old buddy Jimmy and all the aldermen. Leadership to me is everything, and we need strong leadership because all the low-hanging fruit in Middle Tennessee has been picked. We've got tough issues ahead. But that leaders, if you go back to the history of the city, I mean, we were the first city in the nation to form a metropolitan government. Do you know how many cities come here trying to figure that out? We did that in the 60s. As strange as it sounds, liquor by the drink was very progressive because it helped catapult economies. We were leaders in the race relations battles in the 50s and the 60s. We were an entrepreneurial leader. I know we've got healthcare executives. You know, thank God there was a Frist family that came up with this healthcare sector that has created so much wealth. So that's where we came from. Fast forward today, 1.8 million people in the region. And again, that county line is virtually meaningless except for political purposes. When you cross over between Davidson and Sumner, I don't know where it was or when, 40,000 people a year are packing up their lives and saying, I want to make my dreams come true and my family's dreams come true in this town. That explains the traffic on 65 and 24, and we'll talk about that because transit is my new passion as a member of the Transit Authority in Nashville. Pro sports. I mean, who would have thought we would have been the center of the hockey universe over the weekend, right? Top 10 cities for job growth for years, top cities for millennials, top cities for tech job growth. People come here and feel the energy of this town. I really believe that's what pushes us over the edge, is there's an energy and a feeling to it. So here are my 5 quick reasons of why I think this is happening. And again, my day job's commercial real estate. I got 41, my friend Sue Ernst is here, I got 41 hard-charging, alpha, largely male, all-commission sales guys working with me that'll sell about $650 million of real estate this year, which is jaw-dropping to me that's what this economy is now. But I don't like talking about the facts, the stats. I like talking about why. So here's why I think we are where we are. Number one, and this should probably be the last, but guys, the secret's out. And there's a lot of reasons why this acclaim, I mean, this whole It City business has almost gotten ridiculous, right? If you hear this, but word is out, and it's out not just to people, but investors. And Sue, I know you have this every day. There isn't a week in my office that I don't have. I've got guys from San Diego in my office today who are investing hundreds of millions of dollars here. And when they're looking at all the cities in the country, they think this is great. The business case makes sense. It's affordable. They think it's a good long bet. So I don't know if the TV series had to do with it. I don't know if it was country music. I don't know if it's Taylor Swift. But the secret of Nashville is out in the world, and I think we all need to realize there's probably no going back on that. So that's number one. Number two is we have been blessed to develop an industry kind of hand of cards, right? Every city is dealt a hand of industries. And man, some cities it's tough. I mean, if you're up in West Virginia and you've got coal mining and not much else, it is difficult. We got dealt a hand and grew a hand that cities all over this country would kill for. Healthcare. America's getting older, right? The demand for healthcare is not going away. Tourism and hospitality. The beauty of that is they come in here, they drink a bunch of long necks, and they leave their money, and they go home. It's a great injection of cash into your economy. Government, being the state capital, is so meaningful. Federal government jobs, really important. This is a college town, and I would tell you that higher education, to me, is the number one sales point for Middle Tennessee. We got bright, educated people looking for jobs when they come out. And then you've got logistics, manufacturing. We still make stuff here. So that's number two. We've got this industry set that we were very fortunate and that we've had really strong leadership, like Jimmy Johnston, my longtime friend, to be sure we protect it and grow it. Number three, we are growing. And it's not just growing, we're growing with the right kinds of people. Now, we can have a whole nother hour argument over whether growth is good or not, but the reality that jobs, how they're created, companies are chasing talent. And so the people who are moving to Nashville are largely I laugh because I'm a middle-aged, woman. I laugh about the kind of the skinny hipsters you see down at Pinewood Social, right? I mean, guys in high school at Hillwood High School were not that skinny in their suits back in the 60s and 70s, but we are attracting young, talented, educated, bright people who can work in a variety of jobs. And companies, it used to be people were chasing companies. Now, if you have the talent, the companies are following. So to me, that's number 3. Number 4, this city has soul. It's my favorite thing, because for 20 years, I would be up against Austin, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Raleigh, and we all said the same thing, right? Great location in America. We have great workforce. We have great logistics. We have great quality of life. Somewhere we had to figure out what was the thing. And again, it's the soul of this city. And I was a huge fan, still am, he's still around, of Mayor Carl Dean. And any of you who have ever heard Carl Dean speak, and I bet I've heard him speak 5,000 times over 8 years, how does he end every single speech? Anybody? Thank you, Mayor. Carl Dean ends every single speech with, "Nashville is a city whose best days are still ahead of it." And the beauty of that, it isn't just Carl Dean saying it. A lot of people believe that, and to me, that gives us soul. Finally, it comes back to leadership. And I believe that we are where we are in the world because we have had bold enough leadership in Nashville, in the region, in business leaders and elected officials to say we're not afraid to claim our weakness. Because if you don't acknowledge your weaknesses, there's no way you're going to cure them. And this region isn't perfect. We are having growing pains that happen from a region that's growing as quickly as we are. Transit, and I'm going to come back to that as kind of my ending topic, affordability. This used to be, I've read it in a report 20 years ago, this was a small, moderate quality, low cost place to live and work. We are not that anymore. We are now a mid to large, high quality place to live with moderate costs. So that is a fundamental change of this place over 30 years, and it's causing some growing pains. Education. Everywhere I go, a lot of the prosperity in this community is because you have great schools in Sumner County, and people move and live to communities that have great schools. And Davidson County has to keep on it. Now, it's tricky in Davidson County because it's one of the largest urban school districts in the country, but if we don't get it better, then this whole region will not continue to prosper. So let me come back to transit, and then we'll kind of wrap up and take your questions. So I was not a transit person, right? I was over in the economic development team, and we had a group at the chamber who did that. And the week I left, announced I was leaving the chamber to go to Colliers, I get a call from Mayor Dean at 5 o'clock in my car. And I happened to be sitting on West End Avenue in traffic. And he said, "Hey, Janet, Carl Dean." And I was like, "Hey, Mayor, I need a favor." I said, "Okay, what can I do?" Anything for you. "I want you to serve on the Metro Transit Authority board." And I'm sitting there thinking 2 things. One is, what else you got? Right, what's plan B here? And how did you know I was sitting in traffic, It's like, okay, 5 o'clock on your car phone, chances are you're sitting in traffic. So, and he said, your perspective from an economic development standpoint is valuable. Because this is not about turning left off of West End Avenue. This is about the economic future of Hendersonville, Gallatin, Sumner County, Davidson County, and the entire region. So, again, we could have a whole nother talk on transit. Let me tell you what I've learned from just being on that board for 9 months. There are a lot of players in this and a lot of alphabet soup. MTA, RTA, MPO, CRT, you can name them, Mayor. So it can be confusing to know who's leading, right? That is a plus and a minus. The plus is people are aligned in caring about this now. And my theory is we've all gotten to be at enough pain that suddenly it jumps up on the priority list. Because I don't like sitting in traffic any more than you do. The good thing about it is those groups are talking to each other and are very aligned, I believe, for the first time in history. So you're going to read and hear a lot about transit solutions. I know you guys are leading here with your new highway that Jimmy was telling me about that's going to have the expandable lanes and the technology. That is amazing that you're stepping out because we're behind on this. So let me tell you what I have learned. I've learned people are aligned. I have learned and have been one of the couple of board members that's really pounding this drum, which is it has to be a bold vision and it has to be regional. And in my view, if it isn't regional, then let's all go to the House because it will fail. And that, outside of getting to see my friend Paul and all my buddies of coming here to Hendersonville, is why I was so excited, because I believe everybody in this region has to understand bold vision, regional, and it's going to be expensive. There is no doubt about it. But I am very encouraged as a new board member that there is alignment, the right questions are being asked, and that the discussion is staying at the right altitude for the right time. So what I would say to you is pull Mayor or Jimmy aside and get the alphabet soup of who is the MPO, who is the RTA. The Nashville Chamber has a initiative going, which is to educate on transit. Answer the surveys that come out. Go get involved with one of these groups, because every one of us in this room is affected. And I don't want to scare you, but the projections are you could have another 1 million people moving to this region. We would be Denver size. And you can't swing a cat in Denver without hitting transit. I'll tell you that right now. So that's my latest passion. My other passion is people always pontificate in my business, right? What's going to happen next? How long is it going to be like this? I counted 18 cranes off my balcony of my building the other day, which is just gets you all excited if you're in the commercial real estate industry, I'll tell you that. But here's what I believe. I believe two things. Economies are cyclical. So this is great. It won't last forever. I also know that if you look at the history of Nashville's economy in the region, we seem to not undulate as much because of that industry hand I was talking about. So my belief is, yes, we'll see downturns. No, they won't be as severe in some other parts of the country. But my final point is, without bold, fearless leadership tackling these big issues, that is what could really hurt this regional economy. And you're chamber people. You love this place. You love this economy. So I'm hopeful that with great leadership like you guys have here, we'll keep on being, I'm not going to say the it city because I hate that. So what I think is the greatest place in the world to live. So with that, how'd I do? Time? Good. Questions? Yes, sir.
Janet, our current formula for funding transportation is not adequate. So what's going to have to happen in terms of raising the funds necessary to accomplish
Good question. So the question is, where's the money going to come from, right? You got federal highway funds that are down. You've got state funds that are down. I will tell you this. There are innovative practices around the world that are being studied and modeled, because I don't think we can go to the traditional, let's put a couple pennies on the gas. I think we're going to have to get really innovative. You hear a lot of talk about public-private partnership. It scares people. It is being done in other places. So my view is we're going to have to look at the best practices in the world, not stay in the box of the same old way, and it's going to be a marketing campaign. But that's about, outside of anecdotal things, that's about, you probably know more about it than I do. So, other questions? Yes, sir.
I agree with you totally that transit is a big issue. We certainly know who's doing it wrong.
Yes.
A la Atlanta. And you talked about best practices for funding. I'm wondering who's doing it right in terms of transportation, maybe not just in the U.S., but worldwide. And then the second thing is, from a technology standpoint, is there a fear that if we do a huge infrastructure investment, that we might be investing in technology which might become dated very quickly?
Right.
Is this the type of thing we should be looking at for leading?
God, you're like a transit guy. You've got great questions. The answer on the technology front is there are a lot of solutions that really are low-hanging fruit that we should tackle early that are technology related. And there's been a lot of research around that. So to me, it's an and strategy. I don't think technology is going to be the sole path. And I believe everybody knows there isn't a silver bullet that's going to fix this. This is going to be multi-mode technology. Yeah, we got to add more bus service. It's going to be other modes. So to me, it's an and strategy. What was the first part of the question? Oh, who's doing it well? Really interesting stuff. I mean, over in Singapore, Barcelona, some of these countries, they are controlling traffic through changing the fares on their toll roads, right? So if you want to go from here to the airport and it's a heavy traffic, they'll raise the toll to $10 rather than $2. So there's things like that to me are like, wow, that's really creative. You're not just adding more lanes. There's things like that. The Nashville Chamber has looked at Salt Lake City, Denver, Portland, Oregon is a transit mecca. So there are cities that are doing it right, and we've looked at the cities who've done it wrong. Atlanta is a great example. Is there a reporter in the room? I always hurt somebody. So great questions. Anybody else? Jimmy.
Back to your core business, real estate. Tell us a little bit about the Hendersonville market and Sumner County market relative to what's going on.
Good softball question. Let me tell you about Colliers. I was really excited. I will tell you this, one of our partners, Terry Smith, many of you know him, lives up here on the lake. And please check our dues because be sure because we're members. We do an enormous amount of business here. And I actually left a meeting to come here of my 12 retail guys talking solely about Hendersonville retail for an hour. So very, very active. I'll tell you what you see on that front is, as crazy as it sounds, the land's almost gone, right? Who would have thought that the land at Cool Springs would be almost gone, the land in Hendersonville? So finding sites for companies who are very finicky about where they go is tricky. The other thing I'll say, I have always been bullish on Sumner County and Hendersonville for white collar because you got a lot of CEO heads that lay down on pillows here and they decide where they put their offices. So I have always, you and I have talked about it over beers, I would imagine. I don't remember a lot of it, but about strategies, about how do you attract more white collar. If you've got great sites for them, I think there is a white collar future for Hendersonville and Sumner County. So with that, I'll leave on that upbeat note. It was fun to be here, and let's be bold, fearless leaders.
Now, was it not accurate how phenomenal this lady is? So, now look, everybody here could give her a pep talk as she's leaving. Colliers International could be moving up to this white-collar town she loves so much.
We're out of space downtown.
Well, we thank you. We want, on behalf of the chamber, we want to give you this book that will help you maybe move this through this pictorial of Sumner County. So, thank you very much. Give her another hand, please.
Each month, we typically have display tables, and this month we actually were honored to have 3 people or 3 organizations here to have display tables. So we're going to give each of them a moment to just chat about what it is that they do or a little bit about their business. Union University, Dr. Charles Lee, Waddell and Reed, Darrell Woodcock, and then I'm honored to announce Mary's Magical Place, Carol Ernst, Rachel McCauley, and Jennifer Finland, and the amazing thing that they're getting ready to do in our community. So anyone with the display table, if you'd like to come up and have a few minutes, please do so.
My ability, and it's below magical. First, I want to thank the Chamber. I've been very vocal about how much they've done for me and my business, so I'm just thankful to be here and thankful for you guys. Second, I want to thank you guys. For the last 2 years, I've been nominated the best financial planner in Sumner County. I've been saying that's the only popularity contest I've won, but then someone corrected me, and I guess I won one a few years ago. Kind of let you know where my head's at there. Tell you a little bit about my practice. Everyone says their business is different. I truly believe that with my practice. I have a fee-based financial planning practice, and what that means, when someone comes in the door, we work out a fee in exchange for my advice, so there's no sales of services or any type of product sold. That way there's no conflict of interest. There are rare occasions where there are products sold, but I'm generally a fee-based advisor. And what that allows is clients to call my office when they have an issue and not have to worry about getting hit with a fee or having to be sold something. We have great financial planners in Sumner County. A couple of them are here in the room tonight. So if you're with someone you trust, that's key. Make sure you're with someone you trust. If for whatever reason you would like to get a second opinion, please contact me. Come to my office, sit down for a little bit, and we'll see if we can work something out for you. I do have a door prize. I will treat someone to lunch. I do a little bit different. You'll have to go to lunch with me. So make sure I don't get a competitor. Oh, that's my card. All right. Ellen Bowman. All right, great. I'll treat you lunch wherever you'd like here in Hendersonville. Also, I'm giving away free bags of money. If you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about. I'll see you at my table afterwards. Thank you.
Speaking of free bags of money, that was perfect segue into us. We need money. All right. Thank you for allowing us to introduce Mary's Magical Place today. This is Rachel McCauley. Her daughter is Mary, and the playground we're going to build is in honor or memorial now of Mary McCauley and her magical smile and what she left the feeling with this community. And this is Jennifer Finland, and then Jennifer Motes could not be here today. I am Carol Ernst, and we are the Operations Committee along with Brandon Rogers from our Parks Department. Our vision is to design an all-inclusive playground that is built around just not accommodating children with special needs. So children with all abilities, from your able-bodied child to your child with Down syndrome to your child who is autistic, a blind child, or a child that is confined to a wheelchair that needs head constraint like Mary did. Mary passed away in September of this past year from complications due to cerebral palsy. And if you didn't know Mary, I'm sorry, you missed out. But we have a great montage of Mary's story on our website that just went live today, marysmagicalplace.org. So you can get to know Mary, fall in love with that smile, and our inspiration for this park. We've talked about community today. It's been perfect in talking about being bold, and this playground is being bold. There's equipment out there that our playgrounds in this area do not have. When Mary was around, she has 2 older siblings that are brothers, and when she was younger, it was very difficult for them to experience Kids Kingdom because you could roll Mary's wheelchair out, get stuck in the mulch. She could watch her brothers have, squealing and running around. It was hard for parents to keep up with their children, and there was nothing for Mary to do. So there is actually equipment that is built out there for children to get on with their wheelchairs. And so with that being said, it's not just about children, it's about parents who are confined to wheelchairs and grandparents. This will benefit all of Hendersonville, Sumner County, Middle Tennessee as a region. It's going to be located right behind the Welcome to Hendersonville sign over by the inline rinks at Veterans Park. Cannot think of a better location for people when they pull into Hendersonville to see what this city really stands for. There's a lot of equipment that we're researching. We can show you ideas and things. Nothing is set in stone, obviously, till we can get our money fundraised and the bid goes out and the project is built. We've been fortunate enough to partner with the Hendersonville Rotary Foundation, so there's accountability to where the money is going, so, you know, we're just not out shopping. So there, and also you can get that great tax write-off that you personally or your business is looking for in doing also. Our Facebook website, our Facebook is Mary's Magical Place. Follow it, share it with everyone you know. Our website, again, went live this morning, marysmagicalplace.org. We are looking for $500,000, so no one else come to that table with the free bags of money. We need it all. In that being said, half the cost of this project is just in the surfacing alone. So it's poured in place so that way everyone can get around freely. And thank you for allowing us to talk and help make this happen.
Well, it's a pleasure for me to say hello for Union University. You know, we're a part of developing that talent pool that Janet just talked about. And there's some things that you may know about Union, some things you may not know about Union. First of all, we're the only university that carries this city's name, and we were proud to do so when we decided to locate here 7 years ago. Union is the 64th oldest institution in America, founded in 1823, and it's the oldest affiliated with Southern Baptist Life. Union is consistently ranked among the top institutions in the nation for both academic quality and affordability. In terms of academic quality, for the 16th consecutive time, we've been ranked as one of the 15 top universities in the Southeast by U.S. News and World Report. And recently, Kiplinger came out with their ratings for the best values in higher education. And there's only one school in Middle Tennessee that ranked higher than Union, and that's Vanderbilt. We're 64th in the nation in terms of affordability. Every year, over 1,500 adults and students come through our doors. They come for undergraduate and graduate work. They come for continuing education or to attend a community or university function. To date, we've had over 600 graduates from our campus here in Hendersonville. We're the only institution, the only resident institution in Sumner County to offer advanced graduate work at the master's and doctoral level. We're an active partner with many government and business entities in this area. And as any institution that works with adults, we have rotating admission and programs designed for working adults so that you can get your degree and attend school only one night or only on the weekend. And this year we initiated something new, our University Experience Program for high school seniors. And it has been a tremendous success, where students can come to our campus and spend the mornings and then go back to their resident high school and complete their senior year, which is so important to our students. The final thing I want to say about Union is that on your table, everybody should have one of these cards. And this card announces the next university showcase, which is going to be on March the 1st. Now, I realize that everybody in here may not be interested in going back to school, but everybody in here knows someone that should be going back to school. It's an interesting thing about the world that we live in today. When I grew up, I'm kind of on that last wave of folks, you know. I entered the field of education in 41 years. I'm still in the field of education. But that's not the case for our workforce today. So Union is actively involved in helping people reconnect to take the talent and the experience and the education they have and then to design a path for them to move into that bright future that we've just heard about Nashville and this region today. So share this card, be a part of the showcase, or share it with someone that can come and see the state-of-the-art facility that we've built in this community. We have a door prize to give away, and that door prize goes to Chuck Porter. So, Chuck, congratulations. You get a mug and a gift card from Union University, Hendersonville. Thanks.
And very quickly, I will give you all some great promotion opportunities that we've got coming up. So due to the weather, the huge snowstorm we had last week, the business showcase has been moved to this Thursday. So join us here Thursday night, same room, same place, just from 5 to 7. We have a lot of companies here that will be setting up, and they would love to be able to come and get to know you and share their businesses with you. Next on the list is the Mid-10 Home Show. It's February 27th, 28th, Hendersonville Expo Center again. We have just a few spots left, like maybe 15, 20. So if you've even thought about doing the home show, I would sign up very, very soon because we will sell out before you know it. Also, we have a new event to tell you all about. We are doing a Baby and Beyond Fest. So we had a group of individuals that represent some businesses in town that wanted to find a way to reach out to brand new mothers, being one again, and up until having kindergartners. So we're having businesses come that represent all of those age groups. So if you're selling insurance to parents for life insurance for your child, or you're a pediatrician, or you're a dentist, trying to give babies first haircuts, we would love for you to come out. We're inviting all of Sumner County and north of Nashville to let people know that your businesses are here to help them learn how to be a parent and how to find businesses to find those services for their children. So it's April 16th at Good Shepherd United Methodist Church. If you have any questions, please see me or Carol Brumley. It's a very small committee, but we would love, love, love for everyone to at least come join us that Saturday. And then last is the golf tournament. Once again, it's here at Bluegrass, April 25th. We will start selling golf teams soon, so pay attention to your emails because those spots are, of course, limited, and that will sell out. So if you have any questions about any of those events, let me know.
Good afternoon. Couple of other announcements regarding the Connect pillar. Of course, the luncheon falls under our Connect pillar, and we have Connect partners, which we are so grateful to have be a part of this. We want to say thank you to Bluegrass Yacht and Country Club, Simmons Bank, Good Pasture Christian School, TN Home Sites and One Stop Realty, and Olympian Construction Company. And I think most of you are in the room today, so we're very excited to have you here. We do have leads every week at the Chamber from 12 to 1. You do not have to RSVP, just show up for that. If you're a guest, you can come. It's only $10 to participate in Leads Exchange. So we'd love to have you join us for that. Our next month's luncheon will host Colin Barrett, who is the president of the TN Bankers Association, and that event is going to be sponsored by TN Home Sites and One Stop Realty. So please make reservations early to join us for that event next month right here at Bluegrass Yacht and Country Club. And then our support opportunities include the YPC, which is our Young Professionals Council. Kara Brumley is our chairman of that board, and we are so grateful for all that she does for our community. We are thrilled to welcome on February 25th at 12 p.m. at the Hendersonville Library, Tim McMullen, who is the founder, CEO, and executive creative director of Red Pepper. And so he is going to be speaking on personal growth with intention, maximizing the value of you and your team. So if you are a young professional or you have young professionals that work for you, please let them know about that event and get those RSVPs into us. That is a free event that the Chamber hosts every month at the library. And we're going to do our drawings. First, we have Jets Pizza. We have 4. That is going to go to Mary Poole with Reliant Bank. Great Clips. Raymond Crump at Olympian. Holiday Inn Express is doing a $25 gas gift card, and that is going to Susan Johnson. And Brown's Florist wants to remind you, all the men in the room, especially Valentine's Day is coming up, and that is going to Jamie Johnson with Comcast Business. So come up and get your prizes, and we're so thrilled to have y'all here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.